blessed, I'm blessed, highly favored.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys how I would book the entire men's 2026 Royal Rumble match. So this is going to be a longer video, so I'm not going to waste any of your time, and we're just going to get right into this. So for my number 1 and 2, I have Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Doesn't matter the order, number 1 and 2 are pretty much the same thing. But I always like in Royal Rumbles when they have heavy hitters come out early. Like I really liked last year when Roman Reigns came in at like number 16. I thought that was like way earlier than when he was actually going to come out. Like I always like when they spread it out and don't just have, a bunch of mid-carders come out for the first 10 entrants and then they start picking things up for the 20s and the 30s entrants. Like, no, I think it's best when you have the heavy hitters spread out. So I think Cody Rhodes and Gunther at 1 and 2 is very, very good here. Number 3, I've got Rey Mysterio. There's no real explanation for this. I just feel like it's best to have Rey Mysterio come out earlier. For number 4, I went with one of my favorites right now, Trick Williams. Again, similar to Rey Mysterio, there's no real explanation for this. But I just think it'd be a lot better to have him go in there early and, have him go in there for some time. Because I feel like if he enters later, he'll get eliminated a little bit quicker. So I got Trick Williams for number 4. Number 5, I have Eli Dragunov. Again, like for a lot of these early entrants, I really don't have too much explanation for this. But for Eli Dragunov, I really wanted him in here at the same time as Gunther. And there's not too many superstars in the ring at this time in the Rumble. So you're pretty much guaranteed an interaction between Dragunov and Gunther. I think Dragunov has potential to be the Iron Man in the match as well. So having him in there early is best. He has a little bit of history with Trick Williams. And I really would want to see that, stare down with Gunther. So that's why I've got Dragunov at 5. Coming in at number 6 will be Penta. I feel like, last year he was the Iron Man of this match. I don't think he will be the Iron Man this year. I think it's more so Eli Dragunov and the number 8 entrant. But Penta will have a pretty decent showing. I definitely want that interaction with Rey Mysterio again. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Penta. I think he will get eliminated, a little bit quickly, but he'll have a pretty decent showing. But I don't think he'll be the Iron Man of this match. I think it'll be more between Dragunov and you'll see my number 8 entrant. Number 7, we have Austin Theory. I'm just going to be straight up with you. I have the whole vision in this Royal Rumble match, so I really just needed to spread them out. From the way I see it, they're booking Austin Theory as the weakest member, so I just have him in as the first member from the vision coming in here. My number 8 entrant is going to be the United States champion, Carmelo Hayes. Like I said, I think him and Eli Dragunov will be like the contenders for the Iron Man of this match. So get them both in here early on. Like I said, he is the United States champion, so I think that'd be a great showing for him if he was the Iron Man instead of Dragunov. But I think both him and Dragunov would both work for the Iron Man of this match.
Misery, it lives in me, but I fight cause the light at the end of the tunnel.
At number 9, the first surprise entrant in this match, TNA's Mike Santana. He is the TNA World Champion, so I do think he will be in here. But like I said, this is me booking the Rumble, so even if he's not in the actual match, I would have him in the match. Again, like I said, TNA's World Champion. He hasn't interacted with any of these superstars except for Trick Williams, so that is pretty cool that he does have history with Trick, but I think it'd be pretty cool to get TNA's World Champion here. 11, we have last year's winner, main event, Jey Uso. I don't remember exactly what number he came in at last year. I think it was 21, and then he won from that spot. I'm going to be honest, I would not have him win again this year, obviously, and I don't even think he's in contention to actually win the match, but I actually do really like Jey Uso, so get him in here early. You know, maybe he can eliminate Gunther later on, but I'd have Jey Uso come in at number 11. And with that, I'd also have Austin Theory eliminate Rey Mysterio from the match. So I know he's holding Trick, but I wouldn't have Trick eliminated yet. But I would have Rey Mysterio be eliminated by Austin Theory. Number 12, technically the second surprise entrant in this match. We have Aleister Black. I don't have Damian Priest in here. If you've watched my channel for some time now, you know I don't like Damian Priest. But I think he probably will be in the actual Rumble. And Aleister Black will most likely return and maybe eliminate Damian Priest. Don't know if they're going to continue that feud or not. Hope they don't. But that's besides the point. We don't have Damian Priest here, so no need to talk about him. But Aleister Black I'd have at number 12. Number 13, the third surprise entrant in this match. It is TNA's Jeff Hardy. I think Jeff Hardy has to be in the Royal Rumble match. I'm booking him in here. I really want him in the match. I hope he is, you know, but maybe he's not. I would have him in here, though. Obviously, I have him in at number 13 as a third surprise entrant, but Jeff Hardy has to be in the Royal Rumble match. Number 14, the fourth surprise entrant and the second returning superstar. We have Chad Gable. Would love to see him back. Obviously, we've seen, you know, images of him training to come back. So I really hope he is healthy and ready to come back. Big Chad Gable fan. I really love his faction with the Creed brothers. I hate that the Creed brothers aren't getting screen time while Chad is gone. But hopefully Chad Gable comes back in the Rumble and we see a lot from him and the Creed brothers going forward. Number 15, technically the fifth surprise entrant, Brock Lesnar. I say technically because to me it's not really a surprise, but WWE's obviously going to make it a big surprise. And obviously, like I said earlier on in the video, I love when we have, you know, big time superstars enter earlier on in the Rumble. I just love that. I hate when they have like a bunch of mid cards enter through 1 through 10 and then, you know, things don't start picking up to like the 20s entrance. So I would have Brock Lesnar enter on early. In the real match, he probably won't. He'll probably enter at like 25 or something. But if I was booking it, I'd have him enter at 15 and the clean house. I'd have him eliminate Trick, Santana, Jeff Hardy, Penta, and even Chad Gable. So, yeah, I would have Brock Lesnar clean house in this Rumble. At number 16, we have the second member of the Vision, Logan Paul, getting here. Austin Theory is going to get some help in here. I always love in Rumbles when they do that moment of everybody jumping Logan Paul. I wouldn't have that here right away because I do want Logan Paul in here for some time. But eventually, when Logan Paul does get eliminated, I would like to have that spot where, you know, everybody's jumping Logan Paul because everybody hates him. And, you know, maybe Braun Breaker's in there and he just watches from behind and he doesn't help Logan. A spot like that would be really cool in this Rumble. Number 17, I would have AJ Styles. I know this is a little crazy because, you know, at this point he would have put his career on earlier on in the night. A lot of people are saying he's retiring. Please no, AJ Styles is my GOAT. You know, AJ Styles got me into wrestling and he's my second favorite wrestler of all time. I know it sounds like a diss, but he's only second to Bray Wyatt. But AJ is my GOAT. He cannot retire at the Royal Rumble. Like, please, WWE, don't do that. So if I'm booking it, I would not have AJ retire, you know, against Gunther, and I would have him come in here. And I would actually have him eliminate Gunther, but not right now. That would be later on in the match because I do want Gunther to go for some time. But AJ Styles has to be in this Rumble match, and he cannot retire against Gunther. we have the first member of the Judgment Day. Wait a minute. This is actually supposed to be the second member of the Judgment Day. I don't know where I messed up, but I have Finn Balor in here as number 10. I'm just looking at my list. I don't know where I messed up, but Finn Balor is number 10. So sorry about that, but Dominic Mysterio is number 18, second member of the Judgment Day. Finn Balor is supposed to be in here. I'll put him up on screen after, but I can't believe I messed that up. But Dominic Mysterio would come in here at number 18. I can't believe I messed up that bad. Alright, we do have Finn Balor in here. I still can't believe I messed up that bad. That's insane. I'm super sorry about that. But number 19, I would have Ethan Page enter the match, our 6th surprise entrant. Big fan of Ethan Page. Probably my favorite down in NXT, or he might be second to an entrant you'll see later on. But I like him a lot more than Oba Femi. I would really have preferred if he got called up instead of Oba. Not big on Oba Femi, which is why he's not in me booking the Rumble. But he probably will be in the actual Royal Rumble match. But if I was booking it, I wouldn't have Oba in the Rumble. I wouldn't even have him, get called up. But that's just my opinion. But Ethan Page, I would have here at number 19. Really cool maybe to see him interact with Cody and stuff. But yeah, Ethan Page, I would have enter at 19.
Man, he appears.
At number 20, I would have Joe Hendry. I don't have his figure, unfortunately. I'm waiting for Mattel to make one because he, did sign with WWE and is a part of NXT now, which would make it a lot easier for him to be into the Royal Rumble this year. He was in it last year, so I don't see why he won't be in it this year. But I don't have a figure for him, so I'm just going to talk about a few eliminations that would happen here. I think Gunther would eliminate Jey Uso. Now, obviously, all these eliminations won't happen at once, but, as I'm talking about entrance, I'm kind of forgetting to do eliminations. I'd have AJ Styles eliminate Gunther to set up their match at WrestleMania 42. And then maybe Cody Rhodes can eliminate Aleister Black and Austin Theory just to clear up some space. Number 21, obviously, Austin Theory just did get eliminated, so Logan Paul's gonna need some backup, and I would have big Bronson Reed enter the match. I don't really have a lot of explanation for this. I just want to see Bronson Reed in the Rumble because I really do like Bronson Reed. So, 21 is Bronson Reed. 22 is Jacob Fatu. I did want him to enter into the match a little bit later on because I feel like if I would have had him enter earlier, he would have got eliminated sooner. I feel like having him enter later on and he can do some really big things with like Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. So I did want Jacob Fatu to enter the match a little bit later. So he is number 22. '23, we have, I believe, our 7th surprise entrant. This is Ricky Saints from NXT. He's probably my favorite in NXT, to be honest with you. But I really do like Ricky Saints, really like his work. He does have a little bit of history. Well, not in the wrestling business, but he is pretty close with Cody Rhodes in real life. So really cool to see them interact. But Ricky Saints, another one, I think he's like way better than Oba Femi. I would much prefer him getting called up. I think he's a lot more ready, but he'll get called up eventually, hopefully very soon, though. But I really do like Ricky Saints, so I'd have to have him in here.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they
24, we
understand.
have the Viper, Randy Orton, another one. Really cool to see him interact with like Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. I do think that he's the one that attacked Jacob Fatu, so maybe he can eliminate Jacob Fatu in this match to set up that match, but I wouldn't have him eliminate Jacob Fatu right away. But some people I would have get eliminated. Ethan Page, doesn't matter who it's by, Cody, Brock, really doesn't matter. And then I have Dominic Mysterio, unfortunately, be eliminated by Finn Balor. Now, whether it's on accident or on purpose, doesn't matter. Obviously, their WrestleMania 41 match was pretty tense when they were trying to pin each other. But, yeah, those will be my eliminations. 25. I know he was just suspended by Adam Pearce, but I'm recording this before Raw, so I know they're going to have their little sit down, and he's probably going to be unsuspended, and he'll most likely be in the Rumble. Braun Breaker, big fan of him. You know, the Division will get some more help in here, but the next wave of eliminations, I would have Ricky Saints be eliminated, maybe by Braun Breaker or Cody Rhodes, most likely Cody Rhodes. I would have Finn Balor get eliminated. He can be eliminated by Braun Breaker, it really doesn't matter. Jacob Fatu, Lesnar, doesn't matter. And then at this point, it would be a good time to have that spot with Logan Paul. Yeah, really no, the spot, like I said earlier, where, you know, everybody's jumping Logan Paul and maybe just Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed kind of just watch and don't help him. I feel like that would be a pretty cool spot. Like, not to create tension with the Division, but I think it would be a pretty funny spot. I always like when in the Rumble, everybody starts jumping Logan Paul. So those are the next wave of eliminations. Number 26, the walls are breaking down with the return of Chris Jericho. I actually don't think he's going to return in real life. Maybe he doesn't even return to the WWE in general. I think he will return to the WWE, but I don't think he's going to come back at the Rumble. I don't know why. That's just how I'm feeling. You know, I feel like these Rumbles are always disappointing, and Chris Jericho's not even that big of a deal, and everybody's going to be expecting him to come back, and he doesn't even come back. I don't know. I just feel like Royal Rumbles have been very disappointing as of late. I feel like we're just going to get Brock Lesnar, and then you'll see my number 28 entrant. I feel like those will be the only two big surprises, and then maybe a couple people from TNA and NXT. But yeah, I don't think Chris Jericho is going to come back in real life. But if I was booking it, I would have him come in here, and I don't think he's worthy of number 30, so I would have him come in at number 26. We have the OTC Roman Reigns. He has already declared for the Rumble. A lot of people are speculating he's going to win. I personally don't think so, but what I think really doesn't matter here because this is how I would book it. But I would have Roman Reigns come in here. At this point, you can see the elimination of Bronson Reed. Yeah, a bunch of people could work together to eliminate him. I don't think, you know, Brock Lesnar or Braun Breaker would eliminate him because I feel like they're closer aligned. But you can see like Jacob Fatu or in AJ and Cody teaming up to maybe eliminate him. So I would have him get eliminated at that point. I would also have AJ Styles, unfortunately, be eliminated. I don't think he's going to win. Maybe, you know, Gunther could come back in the Rumble. Maybe he stood around for long enough to mess with AJ, so maybe that's how he gets eliminated. But I think those guys would be eliminated here. But Roman Reigns at 27. At number 28, we do have LA Knight here. I do think he will be the number 30 entrant in the Real Royal Rumble. I like LA Knight a lot. I wouldn't mind him winning either. But I just think it like really sucks that WWE has been doing this lately because they haven't had any surprises. Like last year, they had AJ mysteriously, you know, go away from TV to come back at the Rumble. They did it the year prior with Sami Zayn. They had him gone for a couple months just so that way he could be number 30 at Royal Rumble because they didn't have any, you know, big returns planned. So I feel like that's the same thing with LA Knight here. Kind of sucks. I do like LA Knight a lot, though. I'm excited to see him come back, but it's just really, really predictable, unfortunately. And I just hate that they've been doing that every single year where they have someone go away just so that way they can come back at the Rumble. Literally, I think it really sucks. But at this point, I'd have Eli Dragunov get eliminated. Still have Carmelo Hayes in here. I think I would have Carmelo Hayes as the Iron Man opposed to Dragunov. But Dragunov can be eliminated by, like, you know, Brock Lesnar. But I still have Carmelo Hayes in here as the United States champion. Really strong showing for him in this Royal Rumble match because I am a big fan of him. At 29, this is a big one for me. Dolph Ziggler. I love Dolph Ziggler. One of the most underrated superstars of all time. He is currently signed to TNA, and TNA does have a little contract with, you know, WWE. This will be a big deal for me, so I'd have him come in later at 29. I don't know if it's a bigger deal than Jeff Hardy, because Jeff Hardy did already show up in NXT, but at the same time, Dolph Ziggler did show up in that Cena tournament. So, you know, it is what it is, but I love Dolph Ziggler, and it's a really big deal for me if he came in this Rumble, so I'd have him come in at 29. I absolutely love Dolph. number 30, I'd have Seth freaking Rollins. I don't know how realistic this is for him to come in at here, but I would absolutely love it if he did. Big Seth Rollins fan. I think WWE is really lacking without him, and I think it's possible. I think it is possible. I don't think it's going to happen in real life, but if it was me booking it, I'd have him come in here because I think there's a slight chance that we can see Seth Rollins come back. Now that all the entrants have came out, let's go through some eliminations and really narrow this thing down. So Jericho, obviously, I feel like he's only in here for the surprise factor. He's obviously not going to win it. Similar to Dolph Ziggler, love him, but he's obviously not going to win it either. Carmelo Hayes, he had a great showing. I'd have him as the Iron Man, of course. He's been in here for, I don't exactly remember what number he came in at. I believe it was 8. So great showing from Melo. I'd have Jacob Fatu get eliminated by most likely Randy Orton, but it could be Cody Rhodes too. We still don't know who's his attacker. And this is what we're left with. Roman, Randy, Breaker, Cody, Brock, Seth, and Knight. This point, I'd have... You know what? I'd have Brock Lesnar get eliminated by Jacob Fatu. So scratch Jacob Fatu getting eliminated. We'll still have Jacob get eliminated, but before that, I'd have Brock get eliminated by Jacob Fatu. I think that'd be a really cool showing for Fatu. So Fatu eliminated by Brock, and then other way around. Brock eliminated by Fatu, and then Fatu eliminated by either Cody or Orton. So this is what we're left with. We're left with 6 superstars. At this point, I have Cody Rhodes get eliminated either by Jacob Fatu being furious outside or by Randy Orton catching him off guard. So these would be the final 5 here. And I think between these 5, I think I'd have Randy Orton get eliminated. Again, similarly with Cody, that little triangle between Orton, Fatu, and Cody, all those 3 people being eliminated would have something to do with each other. Because I feel like Orton is Fatu's mystery attacker, so he kind of gets into the mix that way. So I feel like Cody getting eliminated would probably be by Fatu or Orton. Fatu getting eliminated would be by Cody or Orton. And Orton getting eliminated would be by Fatu or Cody. So a big triangle of those 3 would cause each other to get eliminated. Similar to last year, how Roman, Seth, and Punk were all eliminated because of each other. That's how I would have between Cody, Fatu, and Orton. So let's be honest. In real life, I don't think this is the final 4. You could probably replace Seth with Cody, and that's more likely. I think there's a very, very high chance that our final 2 in the real Royal Rumble will be Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I'm not big on that. I would kind of want LA Knight to win in the real Royal Rumble match because Roman and Drew is an okay match for me, but that's not nothing too crazy. And then Cody and Drew, really not appealing. I would like a triple threat. But I feel like Fatu is going to go on and face, whoever attacked him. And I feel like that is Randy Orton. If Cody attacked Fatu, great, because you have that triple threat match between Drew, Fatu, and Cody. And I actually really like that story, and I hope that's the direction they go in. So I'd hope the winner of the Royal Rumble would go on and face CM Punk or whoever the World Heavyweight Champion is. So that's how I have it here with LA Knight, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Roman Reigns as the final 4. At this point in the match, I would have Seth Rollins eliminate Braun Breaker. Obviously, it's only a matter of time before Seth Rollins gets his revenge. So I'd have Seth Rollins eliminate Braun Breaker. Down to our final 3, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and LA Knight. At this point, I think I would have all 3 of them go at it. And I think I would have Roman Reigns attempting to eliminate LA Knight, and he can't do it. And then Seth Rollins comes in and helps Roman Reigns eliminate LA Knight. So that way we're down to those 2, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Now, this was the match that was being heavily discussed for this year's WrestleMania, since last year's WrestleMania. It's obviously not going to happen now. They're both baby phases, and none of them have the World Championship. I think if Seth never got hurt, then yeah, this would probably be the match at WrestleMania 42. But I don't think we're going to get it, and that triple threat last year was really, really good. So I'm fine with that. For the time being. Eventually, we will get this match, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So, having them in the final 2 would be very, very entertaining for me personally. And I'd have them go for, 15 minutes, man. Have them go for long, like Cody and Gunther did. Like, make it feel like a mini match in the Royal Rumble for the final two. And ultimately, I would have Seth Rollins win. If Seth Rollins comes back, he has to win. There's no doubt about that. And you can have Braun Breaker beat CM Punk at the Elimination Chamber for the World Heavyweight Championship. And that way we get Seth versus Braun Breaker versus... just Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. What I was gonna say is, with Monday Night Raw going on, I feel like we can be leading up to a triple threat between Punk, Breaker, and Seth at WrestleMania. And that kind of being like what Adam Pearce owes Braun Breaker because he put his hands on him. So I think that would be pretty cool. I know Adam Pearce is going to try and negotiate and be like, oh, you know, I put my hands on you, I suspended you, I'll unsuspend you as the reward. But I don't think it's going to be that way. What we're most likely looking at is going to be, you know, Braun Breaker not accepting just being unsuspended. And I think we'll have this little storyline between them drag until the Rumble because, you know, the Rumble was only 5 days apart from that episode of Monday Night Raw where they're going to sit down and talk to each other. So it'll drag until after then. And if Seth actually does come back, I'd have, you know, it booked that way where, you know, that's like Adam Pearce, you know, making it even with Braun Breaker, putting him in Seth Rollins versus CM Punk at Mania. I'd have that, but at the same time, I see a lot of people not wanting two, you know, big triple threat matches between Seth and CM Punk to main event WrestleMania years back to back. So I think Seth versus Braun Breaker one-on-one for the World Championship is the way to go. And then do Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk. So that's how I would book it. But let me know how you guys would book it down in the comments below. This is probably the most effort I'd ever put into one video. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys like the video. And while you're down there, please subscribe. But that's going to do it for me. And I will see you guys in the next video.
One bliss, highly favored. One bliss, highly favored.